Hello, good morning. So in this video, my purpose is not to solve a hypothesis problem, although I will be solving it. The greater purpose of this video is how to start to tackle the hypothesis problem, what are the tricks and threats to be able to have a correct solution. So that's the main purpose. How are you going to start it? Okay. So this is our problem. According to a Pew Research Center Smithsonian Magazine survey released in April 2014, 63% of Americans believe astronauts will land on Mars by 2050. Okay, so we have some percentage in our head. 63%, or you can take it as 0.63. Now here's the problem. Is it P or P hat? So remember, hypothesis testing is about P's proportions or mu. So I need to set up my hypothesis, but I gotta be sure the given number is P or P hat. And I understand that it's a proportion, so we will need to make that decision, P or P hat. Continue. In a random sample of 25 Americans. Oh, okay, good. We do have a sample size of 25. 16 said that they believe astronauts will land on Mars by 2050. So this sentence, they believe that astronauts will land. So that meets my success criteria. I have the P hat in my head now because 16 out of 25 said so. And then P hat become 0.64 if you do that division. So then this number given here to me will be P. Okay. Now let's carry on. Use 0.05 level of significance. Okay. Then alpha will be 0.05. Test the claim. Okay, there is a claim. And remember this. Claim can go to H null. Claim can go to H alternative. There is no restriction or rule for that. But we will test the claim what? Less than 63%. Okay, let's mathematicize that sentence. So P will be less than, okay, let me get my P somewhere in the middle. P will be less than 63%, and that is my claim. Now, is that sentence will be H null or H alternative? It will be H null. The reason is because H null can have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or equal to. Okay, everything is less than, greater than, or not equal to needs to go to H alternative. And any symbols that I'm going to use here should be mu or P, means over proportions. Okay, so that's the tricks. Now, we need to set up the hypothesis. So we decided that this is H alternative because that is no little sign underneath, right? I'm gonna put H alternative, oops, here. And then H null will be complementary of it, greater than equal to 0.63. Okay, nice. So this is the first step of hypothesis testing. We set up the hypothesis. Now we're going to decide what is the direction of our tests. This is step 2. And for that, we're going to look at H alternative. So test direction, we need to look at H alternative. Okay, so this is less than, right? Then I need to shave this side of my bell shape portion, and that will be a left tail test. Why is it important to identify it? Because if you go to your PowerPoint slides 8.2, slide number 7, there are different formulas for right tail tests, left tail tests, and two tail tests. So I suggest all of them needs to go to these guys, right? To your cheat card. Make sure you do that. All right, so we're going to use the left tail test. It means that I'm going to use this formula when I need it. All right, so let's go ahead with step 3. Step 3, we decide to test statistic. Test statistic will be here z-test because it's about proportion. If it was about means, then we would use the t-test. What does it say? P hat minus p all over square root of p q n. I guess we defined everything there, p hats and p's, right? So we know p, that's the testing value, that was 63%. Q will be complementary, it will never be given, that will be 37%. 1 minus 0.63. So let's put all those values into formula. So the testing value, p hat, we have here 0.64. Okay, so 0.64 minus 0.63 divided by square root of 0.63 times 0.37 all over 25. Now, my suggestion here, this formula is gigantic. Some of you having difficulties with entering it in the Excel and obtaining the correct number. So my suggestion, enter the numerator and enter denominator and divide, make a division. Okay. Excel is not something that most of us are familiar before this course. So, and it is very common, you're not alone. So what I've done here, I've already done it. So look at my numerator. That's what I entered there. Oops. And look at my denominator. No, you can't, because you can't also see my screen, sorry. Yeah. And then for z, what I'm going to do here, right, I'm going to divide those blue and red values. Okay, let me just do it this way. So, okay. All right. So to make that appearance in Excel, I'm giving a gap. So that's the number actually. And that's the number. Now for z, I'm going to enter equal this one divided by this one. Here we go. So that will be my test statistic, z value. I'm going back to my canvas and I'm going to copy it down there. So z will be equal to test statistics. This is step 3. I have it here, luckily 0.103562. Cool. Now, step 4. We need to calculate p-value. All right, now when we're calculating p-value, the direction of the test is important because we are going to use accordingly, right? So we're going to look up here the p-value because we decided left tail test. I'm going to use equal norm dot this test statistic, which I found 0, 1, 3. All right. So then I'm going to make a comparison with that p-value with the alpha given. So p-value will be equal to, I'm going back to my Excel. Let's see what I have put there. Okay. So norm.test, test statistic, 0, 1, 3, because it's a left tail test. If it was a right tail test, I needed to look back to my H alternative to be able to make that decision. I would use a different formula here. So I entered that in an Excel cell and then hit enter. Oops, nope. So that will be my p-value. Let me record that up here. So that will be 0.541242. So the question might arise here, how many digits do I need to continue? At this point, not, because the reason you're finding the p-value to make a decision. Okay, step 5 is your decision step. What do you need to do? You need to compare p-value and alpha. Okay, so alpha was 0.05, p-value is 0.541242. Clearly your p-value is greater than your alpha, right? Because one of them is 54%, the other one is 5%. Okay, so P is greater than alpha, and then make a decision. That's your step 6. Okay, reject or fail to reject. It's fail to reject, right? If P is greater than alpha, you always fail to reject. P should be less than alpha for reject. Then you write the statistical interpretation, fail to reject, H null, and final step, step 7. You write the interpretation for the man on the street, which is at the 0.05 level, significance level, there is not sufficient evidence to support the claim, whatever your claim is. Claim dot 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 dot. You're not allowed to put dot dot dot. You need to complete that sentence in the test. Okay, hope this helps. Take care. Bye.